Hi, in this presentation I'm going to talk about EREV, or Extended Range Electric Vehicle technology that was introduced to the general public by General Motors via their Cadillac and Chevrolet division. And I will be using my 2014 Cadillac ELR as an example. The Extended Range Electric Vehicle is an electric vehicle that, after it's charged and driven, the range of the car is extended by the fact that it has an onboard generator. The gasoline engine is an electric generator. When the power supply, which is under the passenger compartment in its own little container under the floorboard, when the power supply is fully depleted, the range of the vehicle is automatically extended by the fact that the gasoline engine, which is a generator, it generates electricity, comes on. That way the owner can continue to drive the car without being concerned about having or needing to plug the car in order to recharge, because the engine will generate electricity. And speaking of the engine being a generator, the generator, any electricity generator, typically runs at one constant speed as designed by the engineers of that particular system. So the speed of the generator or the engine is independent of the speed of the car. If the car needs electricity, then it needs electricity. The generator is not going to stop because the car is not moving. If the car still needs electricity, the generator is going to keep running to generate electricity for the car. Period. And the wheels, what drives the wheels are electric motors. So it's truly an electric vehicle. And the car comes, the EREV technology vehicles by General Motors come with a standard accessory that can be used to plug the car into any standard 120 volt outlet. And this is the compartment to give you access to the recharge port in the vehicle. There's a standard accessory that comes with the car. It's about a 15-foot long cord, and it plugs into any standard electrical outlet that you can find in the garage or a household or in your house or apartment or whatever. Now the current range that I can get from my ELR currently is anywhere between 38 to 40 miles running on pure electricity. Well, let me modify that. Running on electricity that was stored in the power supply from when the car was charged up without the engine running. I can get anywhere between 38 to 40 miles on electricity from built-in power supply without the generator starting to run to generate more electricity. I anticipate that as the years go by, this is pure speculation on my part, that General Motors will eventually increase that to, hopefully very soon, to about 100 miles on one full charge. Hopefully you'll be able to get 100 miles on a full charge. In my view, that would be the primary reason for me to purchase another extended range electric vehicle. If they don't increase the range, well, let me take that back. Increasing the range would be the main reason that I would buy another extended range electric vehicle. But currently, the extended range electric vehicles that GM is currently making is good for today, it's good for tomorrow. Right now, I can use gasoline when I need to, if I have to. And obviously gas pumps are widely available, and as the years go by and eventually infrastructure in this country supports electric vehicles, then I will be able to also use straight electricity. I'll be able to recharge my car at a standard electrical outlet once they become widely available. But right now, I have to use gasoline until I can find a place to charge my car. And speaking of that, that's the only thing that brings my gas mileage down. Right now, my gas mileage is running at about 77 miles per gallon. That's an average. That's a mathematical average. I don't sip 77 miles per gallon every single day. That's a mathematically calculated average of my mileage. On a daily basis, when I'm driving around my city where I live, I do not use any gasoline. Now, the reason that my gasoline average is so low, and I say low because that is low for this car, is so low at 77, is because periodically I will travel long distances, and I need to use gasoline when I travel long distances. I use gasoline because I don't have a place to plug the car in, so therefore the generator starts. The generator being the gasoline engine, and it pretty much runs most of the time while I'm driving, because I don't have the opportunity to plug the car in anywhere. Now, there is one mall that I've discovered, although it's a couple hundred miles away. I go there every few months to visit some folks that I know. There is a mall that I've discovered that does have a standard outlet that's available to the public, and it's not specifically designed for car charging, but it is a regular AC outlet that you can plug anything into. And I've discovered that, and I use that periodically whenever I'm in that neighborhood. What some automobile manufacturers have chosen to do is to create electric vehicles that do not carry their own generator, or they require a special type of outlet in order to be plugged in. Now, what that results in my opinion, is the driver or the owner of the car could suffer from range anxiety. That is, one of the things they have to take into consideration is how far can I drive before I have to plug my car in again, and is there a special outlet available for me to plug my car in. You don't have to worry about that with the extended range electric vehicle produced by General Motors, and that is in fact what the ELR is an extended range electric vehicle, and it plugs into any 120 volt outlet. I plug my car into any 120 volt outlet. If I do not plug it in, then the engine will come on to generate more electricity. Like I've said many times, the car does not care where the electricity comes from. The electricity can come from being plugged into an electrical outlet, or it can come from the generator. The generator is the gasoline engine, and the generator runs at one constant speed in order to generate electricity. It doesn't matter how fast the car is going or how slow the car is going. If the engine is running, and most of the time my engine is not running, it runs at one constant speed to generate electricity, and that's it. Now, right here is, behind this panel, is the access port to plug the car in so it can be charged. It's a standard accessory, obviously. Let me back up for a second. The cord, the charge cord, is a standard accessory that comes with the vehicle when you purchase the vehicle. Obviously, in order to get going, you're gonna have to charge, or you're gonna need to get an initial charge. That's only common sense to have the cord come as a standard accessory to the car. And once again, I can't understate the fact that I believe General Motors, that is Cadillac and or Chevrolet, is not doing enough to make this power plant available to the vast majority of its customers. It's only available, as far as I know, as of 2014, it's only available in the Cadillac ELR and the Chevrolet Volt. I think they should expand it to make the same type of power plant available in other vehicles. either an Impala or a SUV style vehicle or something like that. It's very impressive. The the power, the performance, and the economy combined in this technology is absolutely fantastic. One thing that I can do is I drive my car for fun. I drive it fast if I want to, and I can drive however I feel like, whatever style I feel like implementing, I can implement it. I don't have to concentrate on saving money or being gentle on the accelerator, because when you press on the accelerator on the extended range electric vehicle, you are not modifying flow of gasoline. What you're modifying is flow of electricity, because the car is an electric car, is driven by electric motors. And one other feature that this car has, that the ELR has, is regenerative braking. When you're rolling, or when you take your foot off of the accelerator pedal, and or you tap your foot on the brake, you can, or what happens is there's circuitry that goes into effect to regenerate some electricity. So the car is capable, the car automatically regenerates some electricity from movement that is going on. And you just can't do that with conventionally powered automobiles. It's one of the things that makes this car so economical to operate. And Cadillac did an outstanding job of implementing efficiency into this car. Based on my experience, it appears to me that they have implemented fuel efficiency by incorporating technology, by using technology in a smart fashion to allow a person to own a luxurious vehicle without sacrificing materials in the vehicle. The technology in the power plant or the drivetrain of the car is what actually saves the money and helps to save the planet as well. Maybe I'm overstating the fact that it saves money, and I'm understating the fact that it also helps to save the planet by reducing emissions. Oftentimes I will sit in traffic and I will look at dozens of cars that are around me if we happen to be stopped, and I will think to myself, how many gallons of gasoline are they sucking right now standing still? Meanwhile, I am literally sucking 0 gallons of gas. Absolutely no gasoline at all am I using. The only power that the extended range electric vehicle uses is the electricity that's needed to do what the car is doing at that time. If I'm not moving, the car is not using any electricity to power the electric drive. If when I am moving, it is using the necessary electricity to power the drive at whatever speed I've selected. So it's more efficient. The car manages itself. It's much more efficient. Obviously, this is not my ELR. As you know, if you've followed any of my posts, my ELR is black. This one obviously is red. It's inside Cadillac dealership. And one of the reasons that I'm sold on the ELR, as you probably know if you've seen any of my posts, the main reason I'm sold on the ELR is how much money it saves. In my opinion, Cadillac has utilized technology to allow a luxury brand to be a gas mileage champion. Like I said earlier, the engine under the hood, the primary reason for the engine is to generate electricity, so that when the car is driven a long distance and you deplete the power in the power supply, then the engine will start and work as a generator to generate more electricity for the electric motors that drive the wheels. And when you press your foot on the accelerator in the ELR, you're not modifying gasoline flow. You're modifying electricity flow or current flow. The car is designed visually so that it looks like it has a front grille, because generally speaking, the folks here in the general public, we're accustomed to seeing a radiator in the front of a car. So this car, I think, is designed so it looks like a radiator, but allows air to flow over and around the vehicle, making the vehicle more aerodynamic. Much more aerodynamic. And the ELR comes with all of the standard goodies and gizmos and the electronics and convenience things that you see in any other vehicle. Literally any other vehicle. Everything is available here in the ELR. And no, it's not a ton of options. The car comes with a boatload of options. Just the standard coupe has a boatload of what would be options in other vehicle lines. The ELR is truly a luxury vehicle, and is also a miles per gallon champion. I never thought Cadillac would be a leader in the miles per gallon area, but they in fact are with the ELR. And once again, from a technology standpoint, I'll go ahead and repeat this because it's worth repeating. The engine speed is totally independent of the car speed. The engine is designed to run at, I believe it's around 1800 RPM to generate electricity. It just runs around 1800 RPM all the time when it's generating electricity, and that's it. But that's only when the car needs electricity generated. You don't need the engine when you drive. I don't need my engine when I'm driving within 30, 40 miles on a given day. I don't use my engine at all. I drove my car here to the dealership, which is 10 miles one way, and when I go back home, it's 10 miles the other way, and I will not use my engine at all. Now, that's another advantage of the ELR. It's good for today, it's good for tomorrow. It can use gasoline in a small 9-gallon gas tank that it has. It can use gasoline when you need it to, so you don't have to worry about plugging it in, because some brands like the Tesla do not carry an engine, and you have to be concerned about where can you plug it in. If you're going to drive a long distance, you have to worry about, is there a plug-in available? And I think the Tesla requires a special plug. The ELR does not. And I plug my car into a standard 120 volt outlet, and that's it. Wherever I go, I plug my car in. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, it all adds up. It all adds up to charge. And it just reduces the amount of time that my engine needs to run. Okay, here's a video of the driver information console while I'm driving my ELR. If you look towards the right-hand side, you'll see a gauge that varies in the numbers vary. Sometimes it goes from -12 to +20, and that's reflecting how much power is being drawn from the power supply, how much power the electric motor is drawing from the system, from the electrical system. Now, if I take my foot off of the accelerator, you will see that number go to a negative number. And if I put my foot on the brake, you'll see regenerative braking go into effect, making that negative number go higher, go lower, or make it a higher negative number. Now, if I put my foot on the accelerator to speed up, you see it goes to up as far as 90. And when it's in the yellow, that's showing that I'm drawing more power from the system. And on occasion, it can go green when regenerative braking goes in. That means I'm actually gaining some power already expended. You just can't do that with a regular automobile. The electronics that's been engineered into the system handles everything for the user or for the driver. I don't have to manually do anything. I don't have to change the way I do anything as far as my driving goes. The electronics and the system brains that make the car so economical to operate, and it greatly reduces the poisonous emissions from the vehicle. Like right now, I'm coasting, and you should see the power draw go way down. And right now, I'm stepping on the brake. You should see the power draw actually go to a negative number. Negative, when it goes to a negative number and it goes green, that means it's regenerating some power that's already been spent. Now I'm having my foot on the accelerator. So I'm actually using power to continue moving now. And once I step my foot on the brake, you'll see it go from yellow to green. Okay, right now it should be slightly green. And now I press my foot on the accelerator again, drawing even more power to keep the car moving. And once again, my foot is on the brake, recouping some of that, regenerating some power that's already been expended. You just can't do that with conventional automobiles.